listening to BoqueteNOW Talk Radio on Radio Cherokee 103.3 FM. We are sponsored by Big Daddy's Grill and the ACCB, and I think next week is ACCB week, so don't forget to tune in. They have a lot going on there. But for today, I have to tell you, I am proudly a member of the Rotary Club here in Boquete, and it's always good to have these guys on the show. So we have Tony Royle, and we have Teri Nowak, and we're going to talk about, several things. We're going to start off with an update from Tony on the Manchichi project, and if you don't know what that is, you need to go to our website, and I'll put that in the promo later. We're going to be talking about tablets, is that correct? And Tony's here. You all know, if you don't know about the new park here in Boquete on the river, you should probably have some come pick up that rock that you're living under and get out there and see it. So welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks for having me, Al. Thank you.
Yeah, not a problem.
Yeah.
Terry, man, you haven't been on the show in a while.
I know, and we are in our new fiscal year.
Yeah.
We had our TOMA back in July.
It was great.
So, and our club has grown by leaps and bounds.
Yes, it has.
So I just wanted to take a couple of minutes to get people caught up on what happened last year. Manchichi was a huge project, and we actually made our goal of raising $100,000 for our global grant.
Yeah.
And that means that the global grant with Rotary International will match that. So we have almost $200,000 to work with for phase 2, which should be starting in January. So that's the Manchichi, and we're very excited. I'll keep everybody updated, but I do want to thank the community. The community was really there for us with donating and being in our silent auction. And thank you, Al, for helping us with that last-minute silent auction
My pleasure.
idea I had. So anyway, that is great. The other thing I want to remind people is that we do have a booth at Tuesday Market. And at Tuesday Market, we sell this award-winning coffee from the Peterson's Coffee Pinka, and they're $10 per pound. I also see these bags at Sandwich Shop. So
yes.
Every bit of money that we make, every penny goes toward work. Nothing goes towards administration. The coffee is generously donated by the Peterson Hacienda, so we're very grateful for that family in more ways than none.
And at $10 a bag, that's a bargain, because that is fantastic coffee.
Yes, thank you. And just an update on tablets. We are holding our breath on getting schools open. We're thinking that we're finally seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, and school may very well be open finally.
Yeah.
So once that happens, we will be working with a couple of schools and testing out our concept of online learning.
Now that, one of the show, I think the very first show you were on was exclusively about the tablets, and these are tablets that are going to, excuse me, is it the indigenous community only, or just the schools up here that are having financial problems? No,
it's generally what whenever you do a project and you want to see how it works, it has to be well defined.
Mm-hmm.
And so we don't want to spread ourselves too thin. So we've picked a couple of schools, the most maybe needy of all the schools, that has maybe the highest population of indigenous. And so, and of course, schools that have staff members that will sign on to this project.
Well,
that's a hurdle
that's
in
half
itself.
the battle right there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we'll be writing more and updating the public more on it as we get a little more firm on our
and just in a nutshell, because I know that we definitely want to get to Tony. That park is a huge deal for us here in the whole district.
Yes.
Can you give a little sum up of what Manchichi is?
Yes. So Manchichi is a project. What we found was the mortality of maternal and infant mortality in the comarca is extremely high. I mean, considering that, Panama is really not a totally third world country.
Well, no, it's developing.
It's
a developing nation.
And if you look at Panama City, it's a first tier city. But out in the country, in the reservation, it's a different story. It's as high as the Sudan's. Okay, so we're not doing well on that.
Yeah.
And so we have gotten together with a fabulous doctor, Dr. Rittmeyer, and her NGO, which is Phalarope. And Phalarope and Rotary, and by the way, Dr. Rittmeyer is also a Rotarian, and her local Rotary chapter is a big partner of ours in this project.
Right.
But anyway, Dr. Rittmeyer is from Guatemala, and Guatemala has basically the same indigenous issues. And she developed a corps of midwives. And it has been a smashing success. And when we found out about it, we found each other, and that's the rest is history. Now we are duplicating that program in the comarca, and we did our assessment phase. That's all done. That came out to about 16,000, and we estimate that the phase 2, which is where we're going to be educating indigenous women to become midwives for the indigenous community. And so that's basically what Manchichi is.
That's very cool. That was an interesting show. The last time we talked about this, you and Jeff, were on the show when we were in building number 3, I think, over here. And it's a very interesting program, and I know that he's going to be speaking at length with Dr. Shannon and her show, talking with you, Doctor. Now, is this tomorrow or is this next Saturday?
It hasn't been scheduled yet.
Hasn't been scheduled?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, that will
We've
be
just connected the doctor and Jeff.
And Dr. Shannon is a very good friend of mine, so you'll be in very good hands.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I really, I'll leave you guys because Tony has so much to say, and this is such a fantastic project, and so thank you for the time. And
absolutely, no problem. Thank you for stopping by. It's always good to see you.
Hasta luego.
Yeah. We are here now with Tony Royle. Welcome to the show, Tony.
Thank you, Al, for having me.
Not a problem. There has been a lot of buzz around town about this park, and I know a lot of us have driven by it. I'm ashamed to say I haven't been in there yet, but now that I know that you guys are open, the park is open on Sunday.
Every day.
Every day. My wife and I are going to grab our dogs up and take a ride over there on Sunday.
Sure.
Yeah. What's the how did this whole thing start? I mean, what's the history behind this?
I got involved about just over a year ago. It's the whole project is by the Library Foundation. Mm-hmm. It's the same foundation that built the Boquete Library. The Peterson Foundation, which is Price Peterson and Susan Peterson, they back that. They're the main backers of the Library Foundation. As I hear, what happened was there was a group that were looking to buy this piece of land and turn it into some condominiums, a housing development, right in the centre of Boquete. So they stepped in, they bought the land themselves. I've been working in the library for 4 or 5 years now, doing maintenance and stuff because of my construction company. So I ended up, lucky. I think I'm the luckiest guy in the world with this project because it's quite incredible. But I've ended up, working on the park and stuff. So the whole thing, I've got to say this, it's being financed by private money.
Sure,
foundation money. This isn't.
It's not a city project. It's not a municipal project.
They've been helping us a bit. We've had the mayor's been, they've been very supportive of the whole thing. The mayor sent us the retro for a day and a roller for some of the pathways we've been doing. We're also in discussions with them at the moment. He's building 3 sets of public bathrooms around Boquete.
We've heard about that on social media.
And one of our, we were going to build one ourselves, but he called me and suggested that they build one inside the park. So there's still some legal stuff to do with that, but we are, we're very appreciative of that. Also, I've been working with his wife, Abdi Ali,
Mm-hmm.
who's been, she's been doing the plants and trees as you come
Yeah,
into
she's a
Boquete.
super fantastic person.
She is.
Yeah.
She's very, very much on turning Boquete into the flower place it should
Yeah.
be. So we've been working with her. We have a big area of ponds.
Uh-huh.
I'll talk about this a bit
Yeah,
later. But she's been doing plans, layouts of where the flowers are going and stuff like that. So we're very happy with her. She's been a great asset as well.
Well, it does make it easier when city officials are on board with something. I've worked on some projects back in the suburban Atlanta, and it's years of arguing.
Uh-huh.
The city doesn't want to get involved, or maybe then the city does want to get involved, but they want to change everything. And Joshua and his wife have done so much already, with beautification, fixing the roads and all that, and sidewalks.
Yep.
Right,
Sidewalks, yeah.
and it's really good to hear that him and his wife are behind this.
And the representative as well.
Yeah.
The sidewalks is, there's lots of different political avenues,
Yeah.
but they've all been fantastic. The municipality engineer as well has been very helpful. They gave us an exemption to pay taxes on construction permits and things like that. So hopefully that will continue. We could do with some more help from them as well. So
I can always do with
if
some
they're
more
listening,
help. Yeah.
please send me back the retro again. So.
Now, I've looked at some of the drawings that whatever's been posted on Facebook. How the park's going to be and what's going to be in it. But obviously, I don't have all that committed to memory. One of the things that people have asked me about, and that I'm personally just curious, is what are the physical boundaries of the park? How long, how much space does it take up? What's already there for us now that it's open, and what's coming down the road?
Okay, well, if you know where the mop yard is, it's toward just a bit lower down than the Parque Tropicon.
Okay, yeah.
If you're at that Romero's Road, if you're
Yeah.
going towards the library, literally we start probably 200 meters from the Parque Tropicon.
Okay.
Okay, it comes all the way down behind kind of the Malub Bakery is about halfway down.
Right. Then you got Don Quique. Who I think-
Don Quique, yeah, that's right near the top.
All right. So I think he's the last commercial building
Yes,
before the
correct.
entrance.
We
Okay.
actually have a piece of land that goes further up than that at the back as well.
Yeah.
So they're kind of built in the middle. We've got an entrance there on the road to where the library is.
Right.
If you're on the back street of the library, you take a right. As that road curves around, that's kind of the main entrance.
Yeah.
Further down where the Malub Bakery is, there's going to be another entrance there. You can already see the gates and everything.
Yeah.
And that's about halfway.
Wow.
The third entrance is way down past the gymnasium behind the back.
Okay.
We almost go down towards the swing bridge at the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Almost down to there.
Wow. That's a nice piece of land there.
8.5 hectares.
Wow.
Which is like 21 acres.
21 acres. Yeah.
Yeah. We're focusing on kind of the upper area at the moment.
Right. Now the up area, you mean where that third entrance is?
Near the
or-
main entrance.
Okay, that's
on the
all right,
corner.
where the
there,
library
on
is,
the
yeah,
library
okay.
corner. We've put in lots of the kind of the pathways to walk around in already. We're going to end up, when we're finished, we're going to have about 4 kilometers of walking and running trails.
Nice.
The top section, probably one of the best attractions up there, is on top of the wall. It was during the floods in 2008.
Right.
They built to protect the wall. They built that huge dam of rock,
Yeah.
and we've built a walking trail on top of there.
Oh wow! I didn't know it was that wide.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
okay.
And
Yeah, because
it-
you can only see when you're driving by. You
It's
can only
like,
see the one time.
It's 10, 12 feet wide
Wow.
at the top. Actually, I've got to talk about that because that was we provided the material, but the road company, Anico, he came in and they did the work for free.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow,
Which is
that's
a fantastic
fantastic.
donation again. That's great. If you come into the park, go straight up there. You can walk up and down. You can see everything from there.
Wow.
You go. We come down to the bottom. In that top section, we've built 3 quite large ponds.
Okay.
Okay. We're bisected in the piece of land by the stream that comes through Valle Escondido.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have a sluice gate and we take water out of that stream. It runs through a canal into our ponds. runs into the ponds and then falls back into the river again. So, and that was a great building. That it was great.
Yeah, that's some serious engineering there, because
Yeah,
you're not actually disrupting the flow
No.
of the creek,
Yeah.
but at the same time you're feeding the pond.
And I tell you, even that, I mean, there's a lot of water coming in, but that section where we've diverted it, you don't notice any difference.
Yeah.
It's amazing how much water comes down that
Wow.
section. So,
Now, when you go in that main gate by the library, what kind of parking do you have there?
okay, at the moment we've got space for about 6-7 cars, I think,
Okay.
and at the moment it's full every day.
Well, yeah.
So at the top end, I'm building 2 new kind of parking areas. The entrance there will be above the Don Quique bakery.
Okay.
Okay. Just we've got a bodega up there and stuff, so we're preparing that at the moment. But at the moment, as you come in, this is quite important. I'd like people you have to park in the designated parking
Right.
areas, because we've had people try and drive down these
Oh.
steep inclines with rocks and things, and some cars have got
Yeah.
stuck and stuff. So please park the car and walk. But,
Now,
that's all
if all the spots are full, there is. I'm familiar with that area. My house is literally 6 blocks from there, so I probably just walk there.
yes,
Just be
please
easier,
do.
But is there are very few places where you can park on that road.
Yes.
I mean, very few. Maybe from where that corner is, where the entrance is, probably all the way up to the next road. It's all pretty much private. There's driveways, and you don't block driveways. Don't.
There's no sidewalk along there either.
No.
It's very closed in. So
No.
we are going to build a sidewalk as well. But eventually we're going to probably end up with some smaller parking areas at the other entrances as
Yeah.
well. So, but I'm hoping most people will come and walk. And
Yeah. Well, and there's a lot of parking in town on the main road. So if you want to go, I mean, if you find a spot in that area, great, fantastic, park there. But there's most of the people that I know that live downtown, myself included, walk everywhere. I mean, we have vehicles, but this is especially with the sidewalks now. So, but if you're coming in from out of town, there's nothing wrong with parking on the main road legally where you can, and just walking a few blocks to the entrance. That probably would be the best way. I would hate to have people on that actual road. Some people call it the Romero Road. I call it the River Road.
okay.
To park, blocking people's private property. You don't want to do
Correct,
that.
we don't want that. No. So this new car parking spaces we're putting in is probably space for 30 or 40 cars,
Yeah.
I guess. There's a piece of land between the Tropizon Park and our park, and when we started this project, we had a kind of an agreement with the municipality, because that was supposed to be municipality land.
Right.
We were going to build a car park there.
Okay.
That would be used by the park and by the town as well.
Right.
But during our when we started on the park, some legal issues have come up on that piece of land, so
Sure.
we've had to change
Yeah.
what we're doing. So now we're building a new car park. We're taking up park space for the car park,
Yeah.
which is a shame.
Yeah, I know.
But it has to be done, because most people are in cars. So
Yeah, they are, and that's just the nature of life here.
Yeah.
I grew up in cities, New York City. I mean, there's 10 million people in New York City, and most people don't drive.
no.
There's public transportation, but here, because of the demographics here, most people drive. And I've had a few people on the show over the last couple of years that have had little projects, and I really try to emphasize when you park, please don't block. I mean, we've had people just park in other people's driveways, blocking their car in their own driveway, like it's a parking spot, and that just causes bad feelings all around, and we definitely don't want that. I know that this project, is being extremely well received. There's a lot of hiking trails and things to do, but there's a certain demographic here that really doesn't hike. Can't walk up these. But they still need to get out, and they want to be out in nature, and they want to enjoy the town.
This is I think this is crazy. I mean, I'm really excited about it, even though I'm not, because I'm involved in it, but just because I live in Boquete, I've been extremely excited about the whole thing. And one of the big things here, I think, you have people all over Panama, locals,
Sure.
they come to Boquete, they come to see the nature where, right in the middle of where we're living.
Yeah.
What do they do when they get here? They can walk around, they could try and traverse the terrible sidewalks or they could spend 2 days' wages to take their family to a coffee shop or something.
Right,
It's terrible.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think,
it's a tourist town. The thing,
Yeah.
the touristy things are going to be expensive.
Yeah.
There's no getting around that.
But there should be something here that you can, they need, this park is, the idea is that it would be free or, there might be a very small charge to get in. We'll talk about the maintenance in a bit.
Yeah.
But, there's nowhere for like families to go and, take the kids or anything like that.
Sure, yeah.
And especially in the last 2 years or year and a half where the kids have been locked up at home.
Well, adults being locked up at home.
Adults as well, so, unless you pay like $60 to take a guide to take you up into the hills somewhere, it's crazy. This is going to change everything.
And if you've got a family, you got 4 or 5 people.
Yeah.
Now you're up into $300-400. Just to go see something. In nature here. The park. Now you mentioned the trails, the ponds. Are those just for viewing, or can people go swimming in there?
No, we don't want people swimming in them.
Okay.
The bottoms there's a liner on the sides, but the bottom is kind of the raw soil basically.
Yeah.
So we want that so we can grow plants properly and have ecosystems running in there. But
all right.
Don't swim in it. It's all the water. I mean, this is the water coming down the stream through town as well. So it's not the best.
Probably
water
don't want to be
swim
in
and
there.
stuff,
No.
the ducks are having fun.
I bet they are.
So, but we've got some koi carp in there. We've had some people donate. We've had duck donations. We've had koi carp donations.
No fishing, guys.
That's
Seriously.
There's a government agency who are gonna they're growing for us 3,000 tilapia to put in there.
Oh, nice.
Red tilapia. But again, my worry is we're gonna have the whole town there looking for their dinner. I think.
Oh no, I don't want that. Yeah.
So no fishing, please. No swimming. But it's just great to sit, look at watch the water and stuff, see the fish, and kids can feed the ducks and things. And
I'm guessing there's going to be benches to sit in, or they're already there already.
Well, this is the other thing I wanted to talk about today because I think in the States as well, but in England especially in parks, people sponsored benches.
Right. They do that in the States too. Sure.
There's a plaque. It's in memory of John Smith, or this bench has been sponsored by Radio Cherokee or something. And we want to do that there. So what we're going to do is we're working on designs at the moment for the benches. Probably going to end up about the $500 mark, I think. But the idea is that if people they'd like to sponsor a bench, and your plaque will be on there forever.
Sure.
Please stop by at the library, and we'll take down your name and your email address, and then when we've defined the price and everything, then we'll be in contact.
Right.
And we've already had quite a lot of people interested in this.
I'm sure you have. Yeah, that's. I've got a limited amount of time that I've spent in the UK. Total of my whole life, maybe 6 months. But in the cities, especially in New York, Atlanta. They have green areas, park areas, and in almost every one of them, I've been to a lot of those. Most of them have sponsored benches, and some even have sponsored pagodas, gazebos. So that's most of the foreigners here are very familiar with that.
Yeah, it's a if I had it'd be a great place to sponsor and have that there for a long time. We've got lots of stuff to do. We're going to build.
You definitely wanted to. I wanted to ask you what we know what's there, and if we don't, go there and look.
Please do.
But what's down the road? I mean, how much longer does this project have to completion, and those kind of questions, right?
We have, because of the stream that comes through the property. We've got 2 bridges to build over that stream. I've got a temporary bridge at the moment so people can get across, but the idea is to have a proper stone-looking bridge.
Nice.
It's going to be for photos basically and things like that. So The other amazing thing that happened was when we were doing a presentation about the whole project in the municipality, a local architect came by, and he's donating 2 hectares of land to the park that's on the other side of the river.
This is one of the things about live outdoor radio. We got a very loud truck coming by. We're just going to let him pass by and do his thing. Oh, it's a construction truck. Imagine that. Okay, so in Arca, what land did he donate?
It's directly across the river. It's completely forest.
Okay.
And it's a very steep piece of land.
Yeah.
But the plan would be that we'd have.
There we go.
There it goes.
Yeah.
The plan would be that we'd have, again, walking trails through the forest.
Right.
So we're going to be building a 3rd bridge across the Rio Caldera.
Oh wow, that's a project.
It'll be a swing bridge probably.
Yeah.
Just for people. So we've got these 3 bridges to build. We want to build at the end of the wall where I was talking about earlier, where the running track is, would be a great place for a pavilion up there.
Yeah.
I actually think it'd be a great place to have a wedding, for instance.
Sure.
It'd be, because you've got the river there and the stream coming down. Near the main entrance, we want to have a kind of a pavilion where the whole park is. We're going to see buses of schools coming.
Yeah.
We're going to have tours there. Where
I can see that. Sure.
And I've talked to Anam about this already, and we've already got some people lined up as tour guides where they would take the kids around. Show them what the trees are, show them the animals.
Like an eco tour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have it everywhere else. And so, we'll have like a pavilion area near the front where the kids can sit and have their lunch, and they can also listen to
lectures
and things like that, and then wait for the bus to come pick them up. Wow. I think there'll be, people all over the country going to come and see this.
Yeah.
It's going to be quite incredible. So we've got these pavilions to build, we've got the bridges to build, I've got quite a lot of kilometres of walkways to do yet as well. Yeah. But at the moment, it's perfectly, it's great for people who can walk around.
Just walk around, yeah. Now this, I'm intrigued by this piece of land across from the river that you were going to put trails through. When my wife and I first got here, we did a lot of exploring, and some of the trails that we went on in the steeper areas were a little bit difficult for us, to get up and around. And then there are the ones, I think, in Bahomano up there.
Yeah.
They've got stairs built in with handrails. I mean, they blend in really well, with nature. For the steeper ones, is that something that, because you mentioned it was a steep piece of land?
It is, yeah. That section we will try and engineer the tracks as, the pathways as least steep as possible. We want to try and make as much of this park wheelchair friendly as possible.
That's one thing I was going to ask you, mainly because, I have mobility issues, and there's a lot of people here. Obviously, this is a retirement destination, and there's a lot of people here who are 60, 70, 80 years old, still like to get out into nature and still like to be part of the surroundings. And there's not much here that is, I know that in England you have, just as in the States and Canada, regulations in place where if you're going to build something, you have to make it accessible. Panama hasn't gotten there yet. Hopefully down the road they will, but that seems to be a concern to a lot of people here about things to do if you have mobility issues. Sure. And it would be very, very welcome with applause.
My mum's actually in a wheelchair, so I know this very well. But
yeah.
Panama did sign up to that. There's a national, international laws, and Panama did sign up about 15 years ago, I think, but it's still terrible.
Well, yes, you're changing infrastructure. I mean, it's not going to be an easy thing to do. In the States, when they came out with that, I think it was in the late 70s. They're still working on it, and this is 50 years later. With public buildings, obviously that they're gonna have to do that, and there's grants and there's funding. But mom and pop shops, privately owned businesses, have to be given the opportunity to be able to do that.
We're still in construction, so if you go there now, it's obviously not wheelchair friendly.
Well, yeah,
but that's where we want to get to, basically. And it won't all be wheelchair friendly.
Yeah.
There's going to be some sections, I'm sure. I know there's a couple areas where I'm going to have to put some stairs in to get to certain areas, but the majority of it would be as
the walking trails, and obviously the entrance
and all that. Kilometers and kilometers still of wheelchair-friendly areas. So.
Now these pathways, is it only for foot traffic? Obviously, you know there's not going to be cars and motorcycles on there, but you know things like bicycles. You know,
Okay, well,
whatnot.
yeah, that's a good thing to talk about. The library junta, the board at the library, they've come up with the rules
Okay.
for being there. And one of them at the moment, we posted them up there today. They're up in the park.
Okay.
And there's some important ones. Bicycles at the moment, we're going to not have bicycles there.
Okay.
Okay. Possibly in the future, kind of the lower section, we might have a bicycle area. At the moment, we're sending people. You know, people are coming in. We're going to see how these rules go, and I'm sure things will evolve.
Yeah, well, as they do, yeah.
It's great. I've got about 100 guinea pigs coming in every day.
Well, you'll have two more on Sunday.
Yeah. So at the moment, we're staying away from bicycles, please. Dogs are another big one.
Yeah.
Dogs need to stay on a leash when they're in the park at the moment. We have problems with the ducks as well. Some of the dogs attack the ducks.
Well, as dogs are wont to do, I guess.
And
Yeah.
things like that. So at the moment, please, all dogs need to stay on a leash. And the most important thing is please bring a doggy bag.
Yeah, pick up after your dog, guys. Come on.
My
Shouldn't have to tell you people this.
my guys with the weed whackers are they're
Yes.
throwing their heads out at the moment. as you
Nobody
can
wants
imagine.
that.
So yeah, that's very important. And we have a list of rules at the gate. This, the whole idea of the park is to be as free or as cost as less money as it can for it. The idea is not to charge money to come in. So we're going to have 5-6 gardeners there permanently the whole time. Anyway.
Yeah, sure you would. Yeah.
Okay, but it would really help. If we've got to pay, if I've got the gardeners have got to spend 3 hours every morning picking trash up.
Yeah.
We need to employ more people, which is going to cost more money. If it doesn't, it can't maintain itself.
Yeah.
People are going to pay for it to use it.
That's where personal responsibility comes in, and I know that there's a lot of people in this community that are very conscious of picking up trash, even if it's not theirs.
Yes.
And I'm right off the main road here, and the street that I live on is a main connector between the main road and the road that runs along the river on the lower half, the south part. Well, a lot of cars come through there.
Yeah.
And a lot of stuff goes out the window. And my neighborhood's a Panamanian neighborhood, and it's really good that I look out the window and I see my neighbors picking up trash in the street.
Yeah.
And we kind of all have a sort of an agreement that if there's if you're walking down the street and you see a bunch of trash, you can put it in my in my trash my trash receptacle. I think that you'll find here that there'll be people, if they see trash in the park, that they'll just voluntarily pick it up.
Yeah.
But maybe you can work a deal out with the Basura Busters. They're a volunteer group here that goes out in the neighborhoods and picks up trash.
Also the Rotary as well. We're going to be doing big trash picking up projects as well soon. That'll be something else I can talk to you about another day. But
but that is important, though. It's a public space.
Yeah.
Have some personal responsibility.
And when people see other people, loads of people going out picking trash up in the street, they tend to do it themselves as well.
Now, are there going to be trash receptacles at regular intervals
Correct.
in there?
Yeah, probably 10 or 20 of them around. So they'll be everywhere. It'll be easy. Just please walk over to it and pull it in there.
Well, it's a public park, and if we want to keep it pretty, and trash free.
Yeah.
We could pick up, don't walk past something on the ground, just pick it up.
Pick it up and put it in the bin. Yeah, we'll deal with it after that.
Yeah.
Then the other thing, people, they could respect the rules if they can. Like, don't come in when the park's closed, for instance. We don't have to, again, cost-wise, we don't have to pay for a security guard to be there every night or something like that. So it's kind of a, this is kind of the foundation is doing this as kind of a gift to the community. So the community kind of need to take it on and treat it as their own. Look after it, pick up the trash. Respect the rules when they come, and we, and we'll listen to people as well if they've got opinions on all this. And these rules and the whole park is going to evolve as it goes through time, and we'll see how things happen when there's people walking around and using it.
Yeah. Well, I have found in this community. there's a sense of a lot of the people that live here, whether they're locals or foreigners, have a sense of this community belongs to them. And they're reluctant to throw their garbage out the window. They're reluctant to walk past something. So I think you're already ahead of the game on that.
Yeah.
But there are people that just throw stuff out their car window or just drop it while they're walking.
Sure.
So personal responsibility. This is your park.
Exactly.
You treat it like it was your backyard.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about this. It's. The city and various other volunteer organizations have been steadily working on projects to fix things like the sidewalks and the roads and the little I don't want even you can't even call them parks, they're just little seating areas. I know that there's been a lot of beautification work done by the mayor's wife, and I know the mayor has been behind a lot of stuff. And as a resident here, when you're scrolling through your social media, Facebook, and every couple of days, there's one group or another or the mayor posting, we're doing this, it gives you pride in your community. And it makes you want to be part of the solution, right? Not part of the problem. Now down the road, you were talking about obviously you were talking about the benches and all that, but did you call them pagodas or gazebos? What were you referring to?
Yeah, same thing. Yeah.
Same thing. Yeah. Well, it depends on where you're from.
Pavilion.
Pavilion. There you go. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah. Kind of a roofed, flexible area. The other thing that we want to do, we were talking about. Many people have heard about this. We were going to build a large theatre within the park as well.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah. It's been decided it's not off the table, but it's kind of at the back of the table. The focus is now on the park itself.
Sure.
One of the big reasons is the car parking. If we have a 500-seater theatre,
where are you going to,
300 car parking spaces. So
No,
do we sacrifice park now? Because of the problem that we had with where we were going to build a car park.
Yeah.
So it's not off the table, but it's back a bit.
Logistically, that's kind of a nightmare. I know that when the Jazz and Blues Festival is here, they're temporarily like renting space on private land to park, and then they got shuttles going back and forth, and it is, and I understand that. Why that would have to be put. Plus, you don't want to take another giant chunk of the park, just for parking. In the town that I used to live in, I lived in a very small town, and they had an amphitheater there. But next to it was a walking park, kind of similar to, and they had a pavilion in there. And one of the ways that the park got revenue for maintenance and whatnot is renting the pavilion out to private parties, which I think is a good idea. Because if you show up, you tell everyone, meet me at the pavilion at 2:00 on Saturday, and everyone shows up and someone's using it. Is that something that would be on the table to help defray the costs
I think so,
of maintenance?
Like I mentioned earlier about the wedding, for instance. It would be good to look for. Again, this is a private financed project, so where we can get funds to do things like that and keep the maintenance up, keep those 5 or 6 workers gardening. We need to generate funds somehow. It can't be on the private donors the whole time. So the other thing, we probably might end up doing like an open air amphitheater as well, a bit like the one in Valle Escondido, but with like a roof on it. That would just kind of a temporary roof. Again, that could be rented out or something like that. So.
And that doesn't have to be the size of a full size a full size theater.
Again, I mean that would be great for the schools when they're doing the talks when they come and do their nature tours and things like that.
Plus something like that you could actually integrate with the topography.
Oh yeah,
and,
I've got the space already.
You've already got
literally
that.
dig a hole out. I know where it's going. Yeah, it's already planned. But all of this stuff, these are fantastic. The bridges, the pavilions, and the amphitheater. They do take money and time.
Sure.
So. I think the library would appreciate donations if you.
Well, had you thought about, or is there a fundraiser in the works for this, or something that is being considered in order a way to raise money?
There are a couple of groups that wanted to organise kind of a benefit concert which would be coming down the road. Yeah.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
One of the main organisers is out of the country at the moment, but he when he comes back, I'm hoping that will take off as well. So, yeah.
Well, I could tell you as a musician, I played in 4 bands in this town over the last 3 years. That's a great idea because everyone loves getting out.
Yeah.
Nobody minds, putting out, money to hear some good live music, and it's fun for everybody.
We've got this perfect area as well. It's this kind of circle area with flat grass with trees around the outside.
Nice.
And it's just for like one of these, concert in the park.
Yeah.
Where you put up a temporary stage and
Sure.
people bring their deck chairs and things like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just you have to come and have a look.
I know I will. Like I said, I just like you, I stay busy pretty much all week long, but Sunday's a day off, and I hadn't realized that it was open. I knew it was open, but I didn't know that it was now. That it's open every day.
Only from last Sunday it started. Yeah.
Okay,
So
all right.
7 a.m. till 5 p.m. every day. Come in, park the car near the entrance.
And if you're within a half a kilometer or so, just
Please
walk.
walk.
Just walk.
Please.
That road down there, at least from where the footbridge is, before you get to the little bridge on the river road, it's newly paved. There's nice sidewalks there. My wife walks from our house, which is right by that swinging bridge, a block over from that swinging bridge, all the way down to Romero.
Right.
And it only takes her 20 minutes to get all the way down there. So if you live on the south side of town, you can get to that park on foot in 10 or 15 minutes.
And it's a very quiet road as well. There aren't
Yeah,
many cars
it is. No, it's a nice walk.
Yeah.
And if you're going to be walking anyway,
Yeah. Please.
right? If somebody does, if people do want to ride their bikes there, obviously not on the trail, but if they want, there's a huge cycling community here.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know. I had a guy from the new cycling garage on the show about 6 months ago. I had no idea. There's hundreds of people here that cycle. Is there a place where they can secure their bikes there?
It's a very good point, actually. I didn't think about that. But yeah, if you bring your bike, then I'm sure we can build like a bike rack.
Like a bike rack or
Yeah,
something.
at the entrance. That's a very
Yeah.
good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we prefer not having cars there. So,
Well, yeah.
but
yeah.
obviously, if you can't bike or walk, then come in the car. But,
Yeah.
So.
And remember, guys, no fishing in the no fishing in the pond.
And
I know a
doggy
lot of
bags as
I know
well,
a lot
please.
of fishermen. Yeah, the doggy bag thing. That's kind of a pet peeve of mine. Having lived in a community previously that was designed for foot traffic. It was designed for walking. And just to. It's one of those things, that you just get really mad at. You might not see it in my face, but if I see somebody was standing there. I mean, I understand if it's a stray, you can't really. It's hard to control that. But if you got a dog, you just don't let it do that. We clean up our yard before the gardener comes.
Yeah, sure.
It's just I think it's just common courtesy.
Exactly.
With trash and all that
And
all that stuff.
The community needs to think of these gardeners as their gardeners as well.
Yeah.
So
Well, they
it's
are.
going to be your garden.
It's a. I'm gonna tell you something, Tony. We've been here. My wife and I've been here 3.5, I guess, going on 4 years now, and I don't speak for anybody but us. We're really happy, that we're really happy that this is being done because to have a place that's conveniently located, downtown, that you can, go there in the morning, enjoy nature, sit, watch people watch the ducks or whatever, and then, run your errands, all in the same area. And there are many, many beautiful areas in the district. But as far as this, we're really excited about this. We really are.
We're getting the same people coming every day as well now. Already, you got people coming
Regulars.
jogging the same time, come around walking in the same morning. It's fantastic. And we put some picnic benches out like 3 days ago. Within 10 minutes, there was a family sat there with their packed lunch. It was amazing, It's great to see. It's fantastic.
Well, the demographic of Boquete is changing. With the various issues that have come up in the world with the economies because of things like the pandemic or whatever. There's a lot of people who are now working online,
Yep.
where they used to be working in an office, and they're looking at they're moving here. When we got here, we were at the tail end of all the retirees coming. All of us gray-bearded old folks were coming here, and I've noticed, particularly my wife noticed because she's involved with that. The last couple of years, a lot of younger families are coming here.
Yes.
People in their 20s and 30s, early 40s. Maybe they've got teenagers or young kids. And one of the biggest, and I wouldn't call them complaints, but one of the concerns they had was what's to do there.
Correct.
What's to do there for a young family? And in the past, that's been a difficult question to answer.
Yeah.
This addresses that. I mean, directly.
Absolutely.
And it's really good. I'm so happy that this is being done. I saw when they first started putting the plans in, people were talking about cable cars. Going. You remember that whole thing? And I don't know if that'll ever happen, but just the fact that 20 or 30 to 21 acres, 8.5 hectares, is being used for the community in that way is wonderful. And is this a project associated with the Rotary, or is this something that you're doing
I just
on
happen to be involved in. I've been a Rotarian now for a year, and I'm trying to mesh them. I'm trying to get them as in. We've been doing tree planting.
Sure.
Ourselves, we planted 2,500 trees in that park.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of.
Probably too many actually, but we figured a lot of them would die, and hardly
They're
any of them
just
are.
not.
They're all doing fantastic. So the Rotary, again, I think I'll talk about Rotary another day, but there's a lot of fantastic stuff that they're doing.
Oh, sure, yeah.
We're looking for more members as well. So
Yeah, and I've got a couple on the line that I'm working with here, trying to build it up.
I think anyone can. There's a lot of people here I know that have got not necessarily money, but just time and experience.
Sure,
that can really help out with some of the stuff.
Well, there's a lot of the retired folks here. They're looking for something to do.
Yeah.
And retirement is great for about a year, right? And then you're like, okay, well, I've seen all the, whatever. Now what do I do? And there's a lot of people here with the talent pool of retired people here is limitless almost.
And I think a big I know lots of expats here because of my construction company. But I know a lot of people want to help with the problems that are here.
Yeah.
And I think the language barrier is a big problem.
Yeah.
And they don't understand. They don't know where a good place to help would be.
Sure.
So if they are interested in helping, the Rotary is perfect for that because we've got different committees for different areas, and then come to one of the meetings. It can be on Zoom as well.
Yeah. That works great for people like us.
Yeah.
The last meeting we had last week was the first live meeting I was able to go to in almost 4 months.
Right, sure.
So you zoom in, right?
Yeah,
you zoom in. It's a good organization. I guess we talk about that another day. But what I want to do, we've got a few minutes left. I want to recap a couple of things, and whatever information that you have that you want to be put out there, just email me.
Sure.
You have my email address, and I'll make sure I put it on the promo. So, the park's open.
Park's open.
7 days a week, 7 a.m.
Till 5 p.m.
Till 5 p.m.
Yeah.
Dogs are okay.
On leashes.
On leashes, right? And I know that's you shouldn't have to say that, but that could be an issue. There's a lot of strays in my area. If they're by my house, they're 6 blocks away from that park.
Sure.
Okay.
We have a stray pack. It keeps coming in. It's causing some troubles at the moment.
Yeah. Well, I know a few people who could probably help with that. I mean, obviously in the humane way. Don't be sending me messages. There's a woman associated with the Amigos de Animales who goes around and collects, collects these strays. So the walking and jogging paths are open.
Yep.
Or most of them anyway. A lot of them are. But not for bicycles.
Not for bicycles at the moment. Please,
roller skates, skateboards.
Again, no,
rather not. Just use your feet. Use your feet have to be touching the ground if you're in there, right? Okay.
Absorb the nature.
Absorb the nature. Picnic tables.
Yes, we've got some there. We'd like some more, and again, that would be part of the sponsorship I was talking about earlier. So if you're interested in this, sponsor a bench or a picnic table. Please go to the library and leave your name and email address.
And I'll make sure I put that in the promo. Yeah, that's a really good idea. I've even seen in some smaller parks to where they have a section of, like on a bridge, you have a stone bridge, and someone for like $20 sponsors the little bricks.
Yep.
And if you've got 300 bricks on a little bridge, well, that's $6,000 that you can collect on that. And I know plenty of people who would put out a 20. I would. If you said right now, hey, you want to buy a brick for $20, I'd hand you $20.
30,000 bricks.
So that's another good opportunity. Yeah.
You've got to think about it. So this is again private money. It's not a bottomless pit.
Sure.
And there's if the quicker we can get more donations and more people involved, the more things we can build in the park, and the quicker we can finish it as well.
And to keep it at least free to enter.
Yes.
That's definitely the goal. And I know that even if it was $1, there are going to be people who wouldn't go. So I think that's a great idea. Yeah. Bolivar, how much time we got left, my friend? That's talking to my engineer over here who's playing a video game. let me get his attention here. How much time we got?
We have 1 minute.
Oh, we got 1 minute. All right. See, I never know if my watch is right, and I fix watches. What does that say? Right? It's like the dentists have the worst teeth. All right. Well, I want to thank you for being on the show. This is a great project. I encourage everyone who's within earshot of my voice, go down there, walk if you possibly can. If you have to bring your car, there's plenty of places to park in town where it's legal to park. You might have to walk a few blocks, but don't park and don't block people.
We should have the car park ready in a week or so.
Okay.
The bigger car park.
The bigger car park. Yeah. But again, don't block people's private property. That's just not cool. Plus you probably get your car towed.
Yeah.
And pick up after your dog. Please, dogs are welcome, correct?
On a leash.
Dogs are welcome. They've got to be on a leash, and pick up after your dogs. And I'm so looking forward now on Sunday that we're going to go down there, weather permitting, of course. Earlier in the day is usually better.
Right.
And check it out. And I'm going to take a bunch of pictures and video, and I'll post that too. We've been talking with Tony Royle from, what's the name of your construction company?
TR Services.
TR Services. And you got a website, right?
I do.
Well,
Yep.
send that to me, email that to me, and I'll put all that in there,
Okay, sure.
because we got to help each other out,
Okay,
right?
sure.
You've been listening to BoqueteNOW Talk Radio. We've been talking with Tony Royle regarding the downtown Boquete Park project, which I'm really excited about. I want to thank you all for your time and attention. This is BoqueteNOW Talk Radio, sponsored by Big Daddy's Grill and the ACCB, and we will be back next week with the ACCB. Y'all have a great day. Paso un buen día.